guys, welcome to part 2 of planning my wedding. Sorry this is really long. I know I can talk and talk and talk, but if you didn't watch part 1, this is probably going to be confusing. I've already covered the start and the basics of everything, so let's jump straight back into it. This is my ridiculous folder. I've only gone through a couple of pages, so I'm going to try and scoot through this pretty quickly. So we've covered the how many people, establishing a date, the venue, photographer, celebrant, makeup and hair, and the girls' dresses. With my dress, it's a little bit of a story. I actually went dress shopping with, it was one of my friends, I can't remember which one it was, so I went twice, and my mum, and we went to, I think it was called Ferrari Formal. It's not there anymore, but it was at Capalaba, close to where the Macca's was, across from Fernwood Gym. It had Ferrari Formal dresswear. It had men's and women's there, and we went there and we tried on a bunch of dresses. It was really fun. And it's funny because that day I actually tried on the dress I wore to my wedding, but I hated it. So interesting. I was so set on a long sleeve, and the lady was like, girl, no, you're not gonna wear a long sleeve. And I was like, yes bitch, I am. And I didn't, which is funny. She was right. We had another place booked in that day, and we went there, and I was feeling really let down because I just didn't feel like I liked, even in the slightest, any of the dresses I wore, and just hated the way I looked in them and stuff. And then we got there, and at the first place, of course it's bridal wear. It was so expensive, and I was like, oh my god, I can't spend this much money on dresses. I don't have enough money. And then it wasn't something that was so important to me of the day, so I didn't want to spend a lot of money. You know, I was hoping to be in that 1,000 mark, you know, give me the sale clearance rack kind of thing. I think 1,500, like, that would be fucking pushing it. Like 1,000 max for me was what I wanted to spend on my dress. And we went to this other place. I think it wasn't Love Bridal, was it Wendy's Making or something? It was in Stone's Corner, I think. And we went there and tried on some dresses, and I was like, oh yeah, found a couple I liked, and I was like, And the lady was like, look, we have a dress that's similar to this. It's very plain, but it's similar to this, and it's on clearance. Because she said, what's the problem? And I basically said, like, look, I like these dresses, but I would never pay the amount that they are. Like, I don't like it that much. You know, when you love something, you're like, yeah, I'm going to pay that much. Not for me. I was like, if I don't have that feeling, I'm not going to pay it. Like, it's just not for me. She said, we have some clearance dresses out the back. There's one that's similar to this one. Why don't I go pull it? Now, the clearance dresses are like sample dresses, basically. So they've been on the rack. They're a little bit dirty. A lot of people have tried the one. Like, when you like a dress, usually you'll get it made. Like, this is just the one you try on, and new ones are made specifically for you. It's brand new. But obviously, if you buy this one, it's take home as it is. And I was like, yeah, cool. Tried it on, and I was like, sold. It was $400. Complete strapless. Not what I wanted at all. I've got photos. I can pop them up in here somewhere. But I didn't really give a fuck about the dress, honestly. I just wanted it to look nice. I was so exhausted from the day that I was like, yeah, I'll wear that dress. So, and I loved the way it felt, and I was happy with it. So I bought it, sold, take it home with me. I didn't have a veil yet, but that was fine. Anyway, later down on the track, when I had the girls' dresses arrived, we had a alteration at my mum's house, where all of our dresses were going to be altered by my nanny. And tried all these dresses on, it was fine. And then my nanny took our measurements, all the girls left, whatever. Afterwards, mum and dad sat me down and just like, hey, we just want to talk to you. You didn't look happy in that dress. Like, you did not look happy at all in that dress. And I was like, yeah, I know. It's pretty. I just, you know, it's not really what I envisioned. And mum and dad knew that all I've ever wanted in my life is to get like married on like a big wedding day. Like, I'm like not the princess daughter, but like, because I'm very much a tomboy, but like they envisioned me getting married, you know what I mean? Like this was a big deal for me. So my dad, like I said in the first video, inherited a little bit of money around that time, and dad just turned around and said to me, you know what, fuck it, you're not wearing that dress, here is $1,500, $1,800 max, go and buy the dress that you want. And I was like, no way, I can't accept this. And then I was like, oh my god, I'm booking in for this one tomorrow. And then literally the next day, my mum and I went back to Ferrari Formal at Capella Bar. We tried on dresses again now that we had a better budget. I was a bit more hopeful because I was like, you know, be open, try new things on. And I did, and I tried on the same dress that I tried on the first time, and I fell in love with it. I was like, this is the dress. And my mum was gaslighting me. She's like, girl, she's like, that's the one, you look so amazing, like, oh my god, Zoe, oh my god. And my mum's not like that. She's usually like, you look fat. So when she said that, like, it looked amazing, and oh my god, Zoe, and I was like, this is it, let's fucking go. And she bought that. My best friend at the time, she was there, I'm pretty sure, that time, and they put on a veil while I was wearing that dress, and it suited it perfectly. And my friend, like, I need to buy that veil for you, because I looked at the price tag, I was like, oh my god, I'm not paying that much on a veil. I'll get freaking $15 one off eBay, which I did actually end up buying, like 7 $15 veils of eBay that you could definitely wear an eBay veil. I'm just saying, they are fucking beautiful, and I was gonna wear one of them. My friend ended up buying this veil that matched my dress at the time, and it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and it was the most generous, lovely thing like my best friend could have ever done for me, and it meant a lot. Funny, I nearly forgot it on the wedding day in the chaotic rush to the limo, but yeah, it was a very generous and beautiful thing that I'll never forget. It was a lovely gift, and I hope to do that for one of my friends for their wedding. Yes, so that was my wedding dress. I ended up selling my other one really cheap. I just wanted to get rid of it because they're huge, they take up lots of space. To this day, I have my dress that I wore in a box on top of my wardrobe. So I have a dry clean. I'm like, should I sell it? I don't know. So that's the dresses done, the makeup and hair. My husband, I worked at DFO, so my husband just bring his mates to DFO, to like Connor and I don't know what all the other ones are. What are the other ones? I don't know. All those suit stores, they found one. I was there on my break and I was like, this one. I was very heavily influencing them because I did have a vision, and they were all like, what the fuck? Like, tell her to fuck off and whatever. But they ended up doing what I wanted anyway, which was great. What was next? Oh, so the next two things I thought about was transportation and entertainment. So for transportation, I knew I wanted to go in some sort of car to the venue. So I wanted to be able to take, like, oh my gosh, sorry. I wanted to be able to take some sort of car to the venue, and my husband to be able to go in one with his friends. So he took, he went with the boys first, and then the driver would come back to the retreat, get us, and take us there. So I looked around, and limos are so expensive. They are so expensive, but we had to have a limo or like a whatever they are, stretch Hummer or whatever, because we had, you know, so many people. So I found the cheapest limo that I freaking could, and it was, let's have a look here. It was $300. So it was $300 for literally, the drive was about, in a limo, because they have to go slower because, you know, you guys aren't really wearing seatbelts and there's alcohol and blah blah blah. You have to allow extra time. So he arrived at Mount Cotton Retreat at 2, picked up the groom and groomsmen, took them to the retreat, to the wedding venue, then came back to the retreat to get me at 3. So he allowed half an hour there and half an hour back, when really if you're driving in a normal car it would have been like 15 minutes there and then 15 minutes back. But obviously they drive a little slower, and they just want to allow themselves time so that they don't, you know. Plus we wanted the groom and groomsmen there earlier to check on all the decorations, make sure everything was perfect, have time to change anything if they needed to, and then be ready for when all the guests arrived. So yeah, that was good. Then they picked us up, and by the time we were there, the wedding started at 3:30, and that was it. So we booked it for a two-hour period from 2 to 4, and in there it also included a bottle of champagne, water, glassware, and that's pretty much it. I mean, the girls had some champagne. I didn't want to ruin my dress, and unfortunately I was pregnant, so I had to be sober for my hen's night, the wedding, the honeymoon. It was great. So that was the transportation. For the entertainment, we had I knew I wanted live entertainment. I wanted live entertainment when I was walking down the aisle. I wanted someone singing and on the guitar as I was walking down the aisle, and for that like hour and a half period of everyone on the lawn having drinks, and they would be playing while that was happening, and we were getting our photography at the same time. So this was tricky. I didn't know what to do. Entertainment is really expensive, and they usually only like to do like they don't want to drive all the way out and set up for like an hour, you know what I mean? It was really hard to try and find someone that was keen on what I was asking for. Or they'd rather do the reception, which I had actually had a very generous friend who is a DJ. He actually DJs in the Valley at the moment. He's usually at the Met and other places, but he I think he's changed his name. He was Alexander Absinthe at the time, and now he's like that DJ Charlie or something. He very generously did our wedding for free. We honestly just had a Spotify playlist for like, because he was also a guest, so while we were eating and speeches and all that crap and stuff, we just had a Spotify playlist that we had already created. And then when he wasn't eating and it was like dancing and partying and stuff, he got up and he was on the decks. So so that was the reception sorted. With the we also had our first dance song, which was Falling in Love with You, or whatever it is. Can't Help Falling in Love with You, but it was like a remix of, I forget her name. It was beautiful. For walking down the aisle, we wanted a song from Angus and Julia Stone. I think it's called Wedding Day or something wedding. Beautiful song. So we wanted that live. I was on the hunt for ages for someone, and then eventually I went to a food market with one of my friends / employees on the north side, which I never go to the north side, and it was literally just like a local small food market, and this little really young, like I don't think they're brother and sister, I think they're like friends, they in high school students, like really young, and they were playing like acoustic and singing. He played on the guitar and he sang like back up to her, and she was singing. Their names were Josh and Ellie, sorry. Penny is one of the mums. And they were just playing at this market, and I went up and I was like, hey, do you guys do weddings? And they were like, no, but like we'd be open to. And I was like, cool, do you have like a card or Facebook? And I ended up contacting them, and their parents ran their accounts because they were really young, but they were amazing, and I was so excited. I spoke to her and said, look, I have a song that I'd want them to learn, which is the Walking Down the Aisle song, but all of their other songs, I love the ones they were playing at the market. They could do those for the entertainment. I'd need them for 2 hours, and this is where, and they were down. They were like, yeah, look, we haven't done a wedding before, we'd love to. And I said, look, we'll get some video footage from our videographer that we're paying for, and we'll be happy to give you that footage and stuff like that. And so they gave me a really cheap price of $300 for 2 hours, which you just don't find that anywhere. But so that was a duo, and they were fantastic. They learnt the song, they sent it to me, because I did ask, like I was getting, bridezilla, a bit nervous, like, oh god, how's this song gonna sound? And I said I need a copy of the songs when we go and do our rehearsal at the venue, which the rehearsal was very quick. It was like 15 minutes. They give you half an hour slot to go. You get one rehearsal in your package, slot to just figure out the timing of walking down the aisle. Everyone can practice, and then that's all you do, which I'm glad we did do that. We just got to figure out in the song when they should go, like the cue, because the walk down from where the like road was, the path all the way down to the gazebo, it was quite long, so we needed to time it right. So I needed them to send me a video so I could play it on my phone and get it right, and we did. It was amazing. I was so excited. They did a fantastic job. So that was entertainment, and seriously, everyone complimented them. They were amazing. If you ever are looking for anything and you're from where I am, Josh and Ellie on Facebook, oh my god, Instagram, amazing. Now, with the guest list, I also recommend that you have your own sort of checklist. This is a blank one. Should make this up. So that there, it has on there their names, address, save the date, and invitation, where you can tick if you've sent them, the RSVPs if they've yes or no, how many guests are coming, their meal choice, because we had I had chicken and my husband had like roast lamb or something, I think. Their table number, and then if they gave you a gift, like you have that choice to write down, because I like to write that stuff down, like what people gave, so you can look back and be like, oh my god, that was so nice. We actually had a wishing well, not a gift thing, because we were gonna use that money for our honeymoon. I mean, some people think it's rude to ask for a wishing well. I mean, I honestly think it might be rude, but I just feel like presents are silly, because a lot of the time you get homeware shit and it's like, girl, I already have everything I need in my home, and I don't want 7,000 cheese boards, which is what we got at our engagement. We got like 1 million cheese boards. So on mine, like that's mine there, I wrote down the side what money people gave us. It's just a nice gesture to remember. I was very shocked. There was a lot of generous people, like I didn't expect. Like even one of the boys in our bridal party gave us $100, and it was like, you didn't have to do that, man. You bought your suit and all this crap. It's a pleasure for you to be with us. And I recommend doing a guest list table like that. It's really easy to keep track of, you know, your invitations, their responses, all that sort of stuff. When everyone responded and it was getting closer to the wedding, we did our seating plan. So you can have like any sort of tables, how you want them, many people as you want. This is really basic, but basically at first we did just a basic chart of what table and who was sitting at that table. So we basically did like Ryland's dad's side, Ryland's mum's side, then my family, and then we had a friends table, and then we had my extended family table, and then we had kind of like a work table for Ryland, and then we had the bridal table. So also with that chart, we just had this, we had round tables. So this is so basic, but it was just easy for me to look at and visualize. I'm a visual person, so that was cool to have that there. That made decorating a bit easier. We had little table cards that I made up. I did really basic like decorations, so I did just like fake flowers. They did have these beautiful black or like vintage vases that we had as centerpieces with candles in them. And for party favors, we did, I went to Tom's Confectionery over in the north side near DFO. I got these little like silver and burgundy hearts, and I put them in little like organza bags and put them on each of the table settings. All the boys did this early in the morning. They went and set all the decorations up. Oh, did they? I can't remember now. I think he did it with, the boys did it with his dad and his stepmother. Oh, mother-in-law, sorry. Here we go. It worked out to be $145 a head, and I also got 2 supplier meals. So that's another thing that you don't have to. It's not, but it's kind of frowned upon if you don't. If you have photographers that are there like your entire length of your wedding, you are expected to get them a supplier meal, which is a lot of venues will offer that. So that is a meal also made for your photographers to eat while they're at the job. And you know, they're working 10 hours, they're gonna get hungry. I know some people are like, well, they can bring their own food. Sure, they can, but it's kind of expected for you at the wedding to pay for them to eat. So we were charged $90 per person. So it was $180 for 2 of them to eat out of our pockets. It wasn't $150, it was $145 a head for all of our guests, including ourselves. So the breakdown kind of is $880 for the garden wedding. So that was the ceremony. And then it was for the cocktail and food stuff down on the lawn. That was the alternate drop menu, 4-course, whatever it was. That was $145 per person, which ended up being $8,700, and then the 2 supply meals, $180, and then we had the corkage fee. So for the bar, it's BYO, which we organised through Thirsty Camel. I'll say how much we spent in a second, but the corkage fee, so that's just basically paying for the service of spirits. They would do anything that was in like cans or whatever, bottles, but for spirits, which is, everyone has spirits at a wedding, let's be real. If you don't have spirits, it ain't a wedding. They charged $330, which, whatever, we didn't care, so we paid that. So in total it was $10,090. I also made up my own schedule for the whole day, so it's good to be prepared. All of my bridal party got this, the wedding coordinator got this, my family got this, so everyone knew what the frick was going on. I like to be organized. This starts at 7 a.m. in the morning and it goes all the way till 10 p.m. It's very, very mapped out. I had, like, when the boys were to get up and go have breakfast down at the retreat, we paid for breakfast for everybody. When hair and makeup were to arrive, when the boys were to go and set up shit, when the limo arrived, the cake arrives, canapes and drinks on the lawn, the first MC announcement. I had a script made up for our MC, which was Ryland's father-in-law. He was a really great and reliable MC. MC is a hard person to pick. You know, you want someone that's reliable, that's not going to get wasted, that's going to keep things in control. He was a great choice. Our venue, sorry, I don't think I've ever mentioned them. They're called Chabon Waters, and they were in Burbank. We loved our wedding there, but I do have to say I did get a bit cranky. They kicked everyone out. It was storming rain at the end of the wedding, and we didn't even think about getting transportation home. So Ryland's father-in-law dropped us back to our retreat, and everyone was kicked out at 10 p.m. Even though it was storming rain. You'd think that the people there at Chabon Waters would have just let them stay until their taxis arrived, and then they could have run out the front, but nope, they kicked them out on the side of the road in storming rain. How lovely. For the bar, this is the thing here. We spent $1,071 on the bar, and that doesn't actually sound like that much, but that's what happens when you do BYO. You don't have to put $3K on the bar tab, because you can get normal alcohol prices. Like, here we go, I can tell you we've got 12 Moscato bottles, 24 Sauv Blanc bottles, 9, I don't even know what that is, Prosecco. We got 6 cartons of Great Northern, 3 cartons of Pure Blonde, 3 cartons of Somersby cider, 15 bags of ice. Where's the spirits on here? Oh, okay, so that's that. We've obviously bought the spirits separately. I must have bought the... Oh, we did. So we bought the spirits separately. We waited for when they had those big sales on at, like, Dan Murphy's or whatever. And they do, like, I don't know, buy 2 and get the third half price or some shit. So we got, like, heaps of spirits, and then we got mixes for the spirits. So I think in total we probably spent about $2,500 on our bar. maybe $2,000. Also with the timeline, I had an MC script. So this is everything he said throughout the night. So like at 4:15, announcement to start canapes, and then it's literally word for word what he used to say, like, hello everyone, welcome to the celebration of Rylan and Zoe Thwaites. My name is Trevor, blah, 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 blah. And then 5:15, announcements to start moving everyone into the marquee. 5:35, 6:15, 6:25, you know, like it had literally word for word. So he could keep track. Like, this is all me. This is all my organizing. Like, you have to have an organized schedule if you're kind of doing your own DIY sort of thing. You know what I mean? Just trying to flick through to see if there's anything that I have missed. I know this is very informal and a bit in the way, but I very much recommend getting a binder like this, having things like, look, there's sections for guests, like having your sections, making sure you have a checklist of things to do. Like, I had all of my, like, this is entertainment planner. I had all of their contact information down, everything I printed out. Like, for instance, I printed out all of my quotes and like receipts and like everything to do with every section, because you have to be on the ball, and it's a lot of money that you're spending, and you don't want to, you need to know where that money's going, if you know what I mean. For the retreat that I keep mentioning, I wanted to have my whole bridal party, the girls and the boys, in separate villas the night before the wedding, and then when we woke up we all got breakfast at different times. The boys would leave, the girls would get ready, and then the night of the wedding, oh my gosh, my son's yelling. The night of the wedding, my husband and I would come back to the villa that I was staying at with the girls, and we'd stay there that night, so, and get breakfast in the morning. So we paid for that, which was for the 2 villas for the first night, and then the 1 villa for the second night. It was a total of $1,065. Well worth the money. It was really, it's a lot easier and less stressful having everyone together, especially the girls, because girls are always fucking late to everything. And knowing my friends and my family, like my mum and sister got there just on time, and I was like, they were like one of the first to get their makeup done. Oh, the cake. Oh my gosh, there's so much. Oh my gosh, my son. So the cake was another thing. As soon as you mention wedding, people put triple the price. It's ridiculous. So for the cake, I did a lot of searching, got a lot of quotes. I found someone, she's caked QLD, her name's Lauren. She charged me $315 for a 3-tier cake. I'll put a photo up if I can figure out how to do that. It was a naked cake, buttercream between the layers. The additional decor I asked for was burgundy and ivory, roses, gum leaves, and blueberries, like that theme. I sent her my bouquet, and she just said, cool, that's the inspo I needed. She delivered it to Chabon Waters at 3 to 4 p.m. so they could put it on the thing ready to go. So pretty much as the ceremony was going, she snuck into the thing. No one saw her, and chucked the cake on there pretty much before everybody started, like maybe half an hour, 45 before everyone like walked into the thing, which was perfect timing. It was 3 tiers. It was a round shape. Yeah, so it was for 60 people, obviously. It was like a lemony cake, and it had like vanilla buttercream. It was so delicious. It had like this raspberry, like cool, I don't know what it's called. It was so, and I was pregnant, but I obviously couldn't get wasted, and it's so hard to eat when you're a bride. It's so hard to eat while everyone was getting pissed and doing shots or whatever. I was like, oh my god, sat down and I ate 2 people's cakes, because I was like, I don't give a shit. No one's sitting here, I'm eating it. It was the best cake I've ever had. She was amazing. $315 is what I paid for the cake and delivery to the venue, and she was just incredible. What else? Right, I'm just going through here. I had a budget, so that's all of my information. I highlighted it when it was paid for in full, so I knew when it was paid for. So that's entertainment, transportation, floral attire. My shoes were $90. I got them from, I don't know where I got them from. I just saw them and I really liked them. My jewelry, I allocated $60 for that. I had a garter, which I got off eBay, I think. Oh no, my grandma got that for me as a gift. I bought lingerie for the night of, which didn't wear because I was pregnant. And also, I was like, when we got home, my husband was so wasted. He's like, and I'm like, no. And we went to sleep. It took me about 7 years to get all the bobby pins out of my hair, to be honest. I had like extensions in. It was like a lot. Yeah, hair and makeup, photography. Oh, we got the groomsmen and bridesmaids like boxes as gifts for the wedding day. So that had, like, the girls had like a necklace, a bracelet, like candles or something in there, and like, I don't know, it was a whole bunch of cute stuff for them to wear on the day. The boys had like they like ties and socks and stuff like that. It was really cool. For the wedding favors were those chocolates. Oh, the rings. So the rings, my husband had a pretty good idea of what he wanted. He got like this titanium, like silver dark kind of ring. It's not your traditional sort of wedding ring. If I've got a photo, I'll put it up. But he knew what he wanted. Those ones you can't get resized because of the type of metal or whatever they are. So it's fine, he doesn't fluctuate in weight. For me, I knew I wanted a full diamond, or just over the top, so like over the whole length of your top of your finger, ring, because at the time my engagement ring was just a silver band with a stone. And obviously it ended up changing, like you heard in the other video, so it still matched perfectly. It matched perfectly, and I got this same ring as my eternity ring. So we budgeted $625 for both of our wedding rings, which it did fit. So the titanium ring, my husband's ring, wasn't very expensive at all, but my ring was pretty expensive for a wedding band. Yeah, so that was $625 for that. And I think that's pretty much it. Like, there's all these other little things that you don't think about, you know, that pop up. Like, I had to get emergency alterations as well. I can't remember who that was through, but she was amazing. Literally 3 days before the wedding, because my pregnancy boobs had come in. There's so many things that you just don't think about that you end up having to do. But my biggest tips for getting married and planning a wedding is have a plan. Tackle the most important things first. Give yourself a lot of time to plan your wedding. Don't try and rush it. If you're going to do, you know, not a spectacular big wedding, I mean, like, just be prepared. Have a checklist. Get a binder. Okay, you can get wedding planner things, which is fine, but I find it easier creating yourself, so you can really, you know, do it the way you want to do it. So I even had here a weekly planner. So this was the week leading up to the wedding. So I had on Monday, 10 a.m. hair appointment with Cherish. She was my hairdresser. Nothing on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I had a massage to, you know, just try and relax. I really wanted that week to indulge in the experience. On Thursday, I had my eyelash refill and I got my nails done. On Friday, it was the day before the wedding. It was very chaotic. And then on Saturday was the wedding day. So, you know, stressful times. I even had here a wedding emergency kit. So that sounds silly, but it's not. A lot of things came in handy. So like wardrobe fixes, safety pins, small scissors, hem tape, fashion tape, clear nail polish, all this sort of stuff that would, lint roller, chalk to cover any stains, like a little mini sewing kit in case any buttons popped off your dress and stuff. For your hair, having like bobby pins, hair ties, dry shampoo, gel. Like, I know you have a hairdresser there, but these things throughout the day is really good. We had a little, at Chip on Waters, we had a little like dressing room for all the bridal parties, so we could go and put all our bags in there, because they had overnight bags that came to the villas with them, but also had all this stuff in there too. So if anything that we needed to quickly fix up throughout the day, we could rush to the dressing room, do it, leave. Like, my husband had 2 shirts under his jacket. Well, he had a shirt under his jacket and he had a spare white shirt to change into because it was hot, sweating. He wanted to wear a suit jacket for the ceremony. He sweated underneath of it, so he got changed before the reception. That was a really handy tip. You know, makeup stuff, toiletries, things that you don't think about, like tweezers and tissues and, you know, tampons in case you get your period, like all sorts of things, like toothbrush, toothpaste, medical stuff like band-aids. I didn't even think about band-aids, but you know, when you wear heels and you might get like blisters on the back of your foot, band-aid, perfect. Eye drops. Okay, this is something I put in there and I thought it was stupid. Okay, I'm so glad, I'll put a photo here, I'm so glad that I had eye drops, because the 2 days before, like I said, I got my eyelashes done, I had a reaction to that latex, well, I don't know if it's latex, but that glue, I had a reaction to it. My eyes looked like I was stoned off my mind. They were bloodshot red. I looked crazy. Anyone that would have seen me on that day would have gone, you're stoned. But I wasn't. I had those eye drops, thank God, because I saw this list and I was like, I need this list. I need to be prepared for everything. Put some eye drops in, the lady did my makeup. I still had a little bit of bloodshot eyes, and if I went like that, you would be able to see it, but it cleared up my eyes so much. And thank God, because I didn't want to look like I was stoned in all my wedding pictures, like, Jesus. I also had miscellaneous stuff, like snacks, breath mints, like energy drinks, just stuff like that, which was a great thing to have. And yeah, that's pretty much it, I'm gonna say, for my wedding planning. I just really suggest you have a checklist, you have a plan, and when picking bridesmaids and people that you want in your bridal party, like, I don't talk to some of mine anymore. I don't. And I'm glad that I don't, honestly. You know, it's a pretty big decision to make. They're going to be in your photos for the rest of your life. And you know, you don't want to look back on those photos and go, oh God, I'm not friends with them anymore. But I don't have any regrets because they were the closest people in my life at the time. But I do wish at the end of the day that I only had my sister. So at the time, my sister and I were in a really rough place in our relationship. I wasn't actually going to have her there in the end, but I knew that she's my sister, she's there for life. So she was there on the day, and I'm so glad that she was. Best decision I ever made. But I wish I only had my sister, and I wish, I don't know about groomsmen. I mean, we're still friends with everyone on the guy's side, but I don't know, I just, you know what, I kind of wish we didn't really have anyone, just my sister. But I just think it's a big decision you need to make, and if they're not lifelong friends, even though you might think so at the time, like, just really consider it, like, they are in your photos forever. So it is a big decision. But I did have my flower girl be my little sister, and my ring bearer be my little brother, and they made the ceremony what it is. It was so funny. It was so gorgeous. Evie was a little princess, and Xander was just so nervous holding the ring box, and everyone was laughing at him. It was a really great wedding, and I can't wait to film and show you that stuff from the wedding day. But thank you for watching. If you have any questions that I've missed things, please comment or message us, and I'll do a Q&A on anything that I missed. Thank you for listening to me ramble and my croaky voice, and like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.